Oh, right, everyone. So, if you can't tell, I'm extremely fucking tired. Prep has really been hitting me these last few days. But we move. So, today's video is going to be slightly different. So, obviously, my channel is kind of based around fitness, drum and bass, but I also want to kind of bring another chapter into it. No, probably like another factor into it. So, I want to try and be able to give you guys useful information, not just for obviously for training, but also for mindset and lifestyle. So growing up, I definitely had a lot of supportive characters in my life, and I got taught a lot of lessons young, and I think a lot of people, especially growing up, could obviously with my viewers, most of you guys being slightly on the younger side, probably late teens to early 20s. There are a lot of things I think you guys can benefit from, even if you obviously there's always room to grow, there's always room to learn, no matter how old you get. But obviously these things I wish some of these things here I got told, but also some of these things that I wish I got told when I was younger. As you can tell, this is not exactly going amazing already, but hopefully once I get going it will start to sort itself out. So more caffeine before we start. So today I'm going to do 12 things that have either improved the quality of my life, my general happiness, and just made my life overall better. So start off with number one, reading. So I recently have gotten back into reading again. I'm slacking right now, but I'm going to make more time for it. But however, for the short period of time I have been doing it, I've definitely found it's been beneficial. So I probably stopped properly reading for about, what do you mean? Yeah, 2018, Christ, when I finished school. And you'd be surprised how shit you get at reading if you stop doing it for a few years. I went back to read a book, and it was literally taking me 5 minutes sometimes to read a page. If it's got complicated words in it or longer form words, my brain my brain processing speed cannot handle reading as fast as I used to, which makes me think, holy shit, how much of a difference reading makes. Because your cognitive function, the speed at which your brain works, actually decreases when you don't read, I believe. That's definitely become very obvious for me. So this is kind of made me go give me a kick up the ass and go, oh shit, I need to keep reading more. So the book I'm currently reading is Thinking Like a Monk. So Mr. Mo Samuels himself gave this book to me when I was in Portugal, and I've been working my way through it. Definitely interesting principles, and I definitely think I recommend it definitely to anyone who's interested in reading. But however, I think it is a bit of a heavy book to start off with, so maybe start with something lighter. If you're interested more in reading books and what books to read, I would definitely go check out the RET boys, or Mo, or Alex, or Tom, because they've all got way more experience than me, and obviously I can only talk from what I know, but they're definitely much better people to learn from. So number two, meditation. So I started meditating the beginning of this year, and this is something that I've basically again, I've been slacking recently, but when I was doing it religiously every single day, was amazing. It improved, it reduced my anxiety, it made me just feel better, it made me think better, made better choices, and just gave me an overall better view on life. Just taking that moment to pause for 5 to 10 minutes just to separate yourself from the world I think is so beneficial. It really helped me, as I said, mostly mentally more than anything, with kind of managing my overall stress, my anxiety, and just keep myself generally happy, to be honest. So yeah, definitely recommend meditation. I started by using Headspace, and I'm still using Headspace. I'd definitely recommend anyone who doesn't know where to start, download Headspace. The first 10 days are free, and then after that, if you're enjoying it, just I don't know how much it is for the subscription. I'm actually still just using the same one, the first free 10, and just repeating because it is doing the same thing, and that should get the job done. But yeah, no, meditation is definitely up there with something that's been extremely helpful. And the more I read and the more I meditate, the more I feel it's gonna have the stronger impacts on your life. So definitely get involved with that. Point number three, walking. As simple as it sounds. So when I started this prep, I ended up having to do 10,000 steps a day, as you do, and I found myself just enjoying putting headphones on, putting a podcast on or some music, and sometimes even nothing, and literally just walking. And for me, I don't know what the science behind it is, and I don't know what it was doing, but it was making me feel a whole lot better. It's just giving me that clarity, and that's, but again, just like meditation, taking the step away from life and kind of like going out, seeing some amazing parts of this world. Because I don't know, but I live in like a pretty decent area in terms of like greenery and sights, so like for me, like I like going on a nice little walk and just kind of breathing some fresh air in, because we need it. And it just gave me that space that I needed, I think. And I do it sometimes with my mate Rob, and sometimes I do it with my mate Kai, but generally I'll do most of the walking on my own. That's like, for me, it's like it's me time, and it's definitely something you need to invest in. Is a lot of like, is being selfish in a certain way, and investing in yourself and taking that time away which you need. So that concludes point number 3. Another sip. I'm going to keep this quite short and snappy, because I don't think you guys want to sit here listen to me talk for like 15, like 20 minutes straight, but like individual points, like with paragraphs and like a fucking presentation. Point number 4, waking up early, or at least earlier. There's only a certain amount of hours in the day, and if you're busy like me, like right now I'm extremely busy, you need to wake up early and get shit done. Like sleep is important, but making time is also important. Like making time in your day is also important. So going to bed at a decent time and then waking up at a decent time is so incredibly important for time management, which I suck at. Ask any of my friends, I'm at least 5 to 10 minutes late to everything. The only thing I'm 100% on time for, 95% of the time for, is my clients, because obviously that's my business, and obviously I've got certain business etiquette I need to, professionalism I need to maintain. But I'm getting better, obviously, like as my workload increases, like I'm getting better at managing it, and I'm being more on time for things and whatnot. But so yeah, I currently am going to bed around 12 o'clock and then waking up at 8, so like getting my straight 8 hours sleep and then waking up at 8. I then have so many, like I wake up and I can get ahead of the day. Like I'm not one of those people, I don't need to get up at like 4, 5, 6 a.m. like, or like, these on like massive business entrepreneurs, like, oh yeah, you need to have like 4 hours sleep, and you need to start the day as early as possible because you need to get ahead of everyone else. It's like, well, not necessarily. Like, you need to do what you need to do for yourself. It's not like just because someone else does it doesn't mean you need to as well. Like, I set myself aside enough time in the day for the things I need to get done that day. I don't wake up like unnecessarily early or go to bed like unnecessarily late. I just do what I need to get done, because there's no point like losing sleep over time you don't need, if that makes sense. Cool. So that kind of like leads on to the 5th point, which is routine. Setting yourself like a good routine for your time management is so important. Whether you're at school or work, making sure you have enough time in the day to get the things you need to get done. So for me, it's like, okay, so I've got my clients, I've got to train myself, I've got cardio, I've got other bits and bobs like programs to do. Obviously for me, is I practice mixing when I've got time, editing these videos, filming these YouTube videos. Like, so I need to make sure I set enough time in the week to make sure I can get all my things get done, because like I've set myself certain goals and I want to meet them. For me right now, it's like one YouTube video a week, improving my improving my online like training business, and my in-person business. But right now for me, I'm trying to prioritize that online coaching aspect, because once that the more I can switch to online, the more time I've got for videos for you guys, and the more time I've got for myself. And for me, that's just kind of where I want to go in terms of career-wise. So yeah, so routine, I would invest in getting a diary or a way, or just using on your phone, plan your days to the hour. So make sure that nothing goes unattended, and make sure you get everything you need to get done, because when work builds up, stress builds up. When stress builds up, you feel like shit, anxiety, blah, 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 blah. And it's just ends up becoming a massive like clusterfuck ball that just keeps rolling, getting bigger and bigger. So get on top of things early, get yourself a diary, get a routine, plan your days, and that will make your life a hell of a lot easier. And that was routine was something I found very hard to adhere to, especially as a teenager. I just wanted to do things when I wanted to do them. I wanted to go to bed at like 1 a.m. playing like COD, FIFA, and then I wanted to wake up at like you know, later on in the day, like 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and then it's like, oh yeah, and I don't want to do my schoolwork, like I don't want to do this, I want to do that. Like I just wanted to do things like when I wanted to, but which is, I mean, it's worked out for me now, but obviously like not everyone else is going to be as fortunate situation as I am. Cool. So next is being proactive. So with being proactive, like, okay, how do I explain this? Okay, so being proactive is like, for me, like recently being proactive has been staying on top of my social media content. So I'm making sure that I'm like making moves and like planning things and doing all these things that will eventually lead to the end goal. So just like making sure you're like active, like you're being active on what you need to do in the day, and if you've got goals, like making sure that you're like doing things now that will help you in the future. So just being ahead of the game. Like quite a few of these points will all tie in together. So like the meditation, the reading quite tie in together, the walking and the meditation, like the waking up early routine, like all these things tie together because the idea is that it works in synergy to make your life better. But I wanted to include being proactive. So like, for example, when I was, this was like something I got taught when I was not rather young, but when I was younger. So when I was 15, my parents said to me like, right, well, what do you want to do? And I was like, what do you mean what I want to do? They're like, well, what do you want to do with your life? Like, where do you want to go for a career? Like, you need to start thinking like what you want to do with your life. And I don't think any other like parents that was like with my, at least in terms of like from the friends I had, were asking their kids these kind of questions. Like, and I was kind of like, I said, I don't know, like the time I was like, what I was really into was like sportswear. Like I was obsessed with like Nike sportswear and all that kind of stuff. So I was like, oh, okay, like I guess it'd be cool to like go into like manufacturing clothing products, like, you know, so like sports clothing, and like that's like something I was really invested in, because I was really into art and design at the time, and obviously I'm really into sports, and I was like, so how can I put those two things together, doing designing clothes and whatnot. So I started looking at unis when I was 15, just like kind of getting an idea of like what grades I needed to do, because I needed to work out how hard I needed to work, and like were there areas I needed to improve in order for me to get to my goals in like what would be like 3-4 years time. Because I had that installed in me so young, it then kind of like I kind of stuck with it. So like when I realized, like when I got to sixth form, like I realized after I did GCSEs, I kind of was realizing that like uni probably wasn't going to be on the cards for me. That probably wasn't an option. And then I ended up doing I did work experience with my friend Sean James, and he basically gave me my first taste of working in the fitness industry in terms of as a trainer, as a coach and whatnot. That's kind of my first taste of PTing and whatnot, and I quite like it. I enjoyed it. I enjoy helping people. Like that's why I realized there's nothing. It was like I want to be able to help people, whether it be lots of people, one person at a time, whatnot. And then as sixth form went on, I was kind of realizing very quickly, like I'm not made for the schooling system. My brain does not work with exams. Like I was one of those people where, like, I knew everything in class, and then come exam, I would know fuck all. Not because the things would leave my brain, but just simply because the answers I was giving were not the ones that the examiners wanted. And so I like very quickly was like, all right, fuck this. Exams are not for me. So I need to be proactive and think, okay, what is the solution to this? What am I going to do? Because right now I'm following the cookie cutter version of life. Like you go to school, you go to uni, you get a job, you might get kids. Like I was like, no, like my life's not going to fit that. So what am I going to do? So obviously I was into fitness, and I was like, okay, I quite enjoyed doing the personal training. So let me see what that's going to, like, you know, what maybe I can do with that. And then since then I've just kind of like, it's evolved. So I've started with being interested in clothing design, and then it was like, okay, then like, you know, I wanted to be a sports coach. I wanted to do strength and conditioning coaching with other athletes, and then it was like, okay, no, I want to do personal training. It was like, no, actually, I want to do online coaching, and I want to do bodybuilding, and I want to DJ. Like, so like eventually things all pile up, and you get in it. Like, you know, like for me, I've like narrowed down to a point now. It's like I now know what I want to do for the rest of my life. And most people my age, like 20, 21 years old, they're like, I don't know what the fuck I want to do. Like, I'm going to get my degree, and then where the fuck am I going to go? Like, what am I going to do? So you need to be proactive and like make decisions and like think into the future, and like plan your goals, which also leads on to another point, which is goal setting. So setting small goals, medium goals, and large goals. However, it's not, when I say set goals, I mean literally all you need to do is just write down what goals you want. Like on my wall behind the camera, I've literally got what I want to do in my life. Like I've got my goals, and then I'm not planning step by step how it's gonna happen, because more often than not, then like it's not gonna go to plan. Like it's not gonna go exactly step by step by step. So what I've done is I've got my what I want to do, what I can do to achieve these goals, and then a few other points as well. So set your goals, and then realize, and look at what do you need to do to achieve these goals, and then just do that. But do not plan it step by step, because as I said, life isn't perfect. Life doesn't always go to plan, so you need to be able to like compensate for that. So next, taking care of yourself. That means mentally, physically, emotionally, etc. So making sure that you're staying physically healthy, making sure your diet is like balanced and like relatively on point. Like I'm not saying you need to be eating chicken, rice and broccoli, but I'm saying is, yes, you can have pizza here and there. Yes, you can have McDonald's, but like also making sure you're covering your bases. Like it's all, life is I really heavily believe in just enjoying life. So making sure you're being balanced, and then it's like things like getting a haircut, keep staying active in the gym, and like buying yourself like clothes that look nice. And it's just like it's about building up your self-esteem, because the more confident you are, the more you'll believe you can achieve your own goals. So yeah, I laugh how it's quite ironic right now, because I'm in such bad need of a haircut, but that's because not next video, but the video after is a big video, so you'll see why I'm like holding out on getting a haircut, but there is a plan, there is a process behind this. So yeah, so taking care of yourself is a massive point. Next is understanding a balanced lifestyle, so business and pleasure. So I definitely I heavily pride myself on my ability to balance like pleasure and business. So if you ask anyone who knows me, I work my fucking ass off, like in terms of like gym, diet, business. Like I put the hours in. However, I know how to have a fucking good time. Like I love to go out, I love to be social, I love to go out and meet people, I love to go to festivals and all that good stuff. Like I believe I've got that perfect balance of pleasure to business lifestyle for me. So I've got enough time to, because obviously at the end of the day, the business funds the pleasure, and the pleasure is what's going to like keep you mentally going, so you can continue to do business. And it's a yin yang. So yeah, like making sure, like if you're in school, if you're at uni, get your uni work done, no stress, set your fucking ass off, have a good time, repeat, and then you'll be able to like stay content with life, but also get what you need to get done. Focusing on your inner circle. So what I mean by that is like, who are the people you surround yourself with? Like, who are the people you watch on YouTube and Instagram? Who are your closest friends? Who do you spend the most time with? Because this is so, like, it's scary how influential people are on you. Because yes, you are your own person, but you are also the average of the 5 people you spend your most time with, and that's not just physical people, but the people you watch. So like, for example, for me, it's like I'm gonna sound like a twat now. I've got quite a few friends, but however, there are certain people who I do hold closer to me and who I will confide in. So if I have to list off like my inner circle would be, so I've got my obviously Cam, who obviously you've briefly seen on the channel. So I've got Cam, Rob, Blaze, Jade, my friend Tori. Like that's kind of like my current like friendship group. So those are like the 5 people I kind of like spend the most time with. But then I've also, outside of that, I've also got friends at the gym. So I've got my friend Jake, I've got Robbie, I've got Kai, I've got Ben, like it's just the list goes on. Like I've got Chris, and it's like, and then I've also got another circle, and that's like the Warp Squad boys. So I've got Dion, I've got Mo, I've got Alex, I've got Tom, etc. So like, and like I can happily hands down say that like each one of these people have a positive impact on my life, and whether that be giving me good advice, whether that's helping me in times of need, in terms of inspiring me to do things and try things, and like motivating me to keep going. Like each one of these people will, like, whether I don't really get to choose, I don't choose, like in terms of like I don't allot certain time to spend with them. It just kind of like, as life goes. Like some people are busy, some people are not, but I'd happily spend, I would happily have any of these people in my like top 5 people, like, because I know no matter what the combination of this, of like the time I spent with them, they will all be positively impacting my life. And that's what you need. You need to have a strong inner circle, because without a strong inner circle, you've got no support. And it's definitely become like, you have to be ruthless with this kind of stuff. You have to be. Like, it was a secondary school was just fucking shit for me. I had no inner circle. I just I had no support. And like, I like realized like quickly, like, just because people say they're your friends and you think they're your friends doesn't always necessarily mean that's a good thing. You need to cut people out of your life who are toxic. You need to cut people out of your life who are not going to be beneficial to you, because sometimes you need, like, you don't waste time with people. It doesn't matter if they're a good person, bad person. Like, they could be a really nice person, but if they're not going to positively like actually properly positively impact your life, like, spend the time with other people. Like, you need to be fucking ruthless. I cut off like my whole friendship group from secondary school. No disrespect to them, but like, so basically, phone camera died. So where has that left off? So yeah, so after cutting like all my friendship, like my old friendship group off, I then basically over time started like accumulating friends that I wanted and needed in my life and are going to be beneficial to me. And again, like, going back to the goals that I want, like going back to like also like people who are going to benefit you, support you, motivate you, all that good stuff. So yeah. So let's go next. So next is living in the moment. So it is so important to take time to like, just to take a breath, like a deep breath of air, close your eyes and just appreciate like where you are and like how good life is. Like, you're alive, you're hopefully healthy, you're well, and hopefully you're enjoying life. This sort of like again ties back into the whole meditation thing, like, and taking a walk. Like, if you're ever at like a festival, just like close your eyes, like take a deep breath and just appreciate like how amazing like where you are in the moment you are is. And probably like appreciate like the friends around you, appreciate like just like how like fun life can be if you want it to be. Like, just appreciate everything you can. Like, sometimes again I'll be on a drive, don't close your eyes when you're driving though, and I'll literally like, there'll be a certain song on and then there'll be like the sunset, the sunrise, and just like, it's amazing like how like much like you let time pass, you don't appreciate the days that come. Like, don't wish time away, because like every day counts. Like, you don't get to choose when your time is up. Okay, you most of the time you don't get to choose when your life is up. So might as well take every single day, because you do not know when it's your last. And that's like deadly serious. Like, it's actually, you just don't know these days with how like, with illness, car accidents, the list goes on. There's just so many things that can go wrong, but this is important to take each day as it comes and enjoy it. And this leads us on to the last one, which is goal setting. So if there's anything I learned from my dad, is that you need to be in a career that you enjoy. He got dealt not the best hands when it came to choosing career. Realistically, he wanted to be a sports coach. That's what he wanted to do. That was his passion. However, he is now, it's not that he hates the job he's in, but he's very good at what he does. However, that's not what he wanted to do. Like, he doesn't love his job. Like, he told me, like, Josh, you need to find a job is your passion, you love it, you enjoy it, and that way you can be your best at it. And like, not just be a bet, like, in terms of like, you want to put like, the more you enjoy your job, the more hours you put in. The more hours you put in, the more you'll get from it. So yeah, so then from there, like, my careers have kind of like, it's kind of been like tapered down into now what I know now what I want to do. Like, it started off with me being like, I wanted to do sports product design, like for clothes, and then it was, strength and conditioning coaching, and then it was PTing, and then now it's online coaching, and then it's DJing, and it's getting my IFBB Pro card. Like, it's now come down to these last 4 points. So I want to get my IFBB Pro card, I want to be an online coach, I want to do YouTube, and I want to DJ. Like, those are my 4 things basically. That is what I want. That is where I want my careers to go, and all these things can tie in together. And as you can see now, all the moves I'm making currently are all working towards those 4 goals. I'm not doing anything unnecessary. I'm not wasting time on anything that does not contribute to any of these goals. And that's the reason why I will achieve my goals, and that's the reason why I wake up every day and want to work harder, and why I'm sticking to my prep, and why I'm doing YouTube videos every week. and why I'm like investing time doing loads of training, because I want to be able to like achieve my goals. I want to be in a position where I fucking love every single second of the day that I have. And yeah, that kind of wraps up the video. I hope you guys enjoy. I know it's a bit of a different video. Hopefully I can edit this down so it's not super long. And yeah, hope you guys are well, and catch you later.